Hey, graduates. Good night, good night, good night. Wanna rarely ever see me them kind of hours, yeah. Them hours, yeah, after dark, don't it? Big up yourself, Audrey. Good night, good night. Kathleen, big up yourself. Jeanette Johnson, big up yourself. I don't even think any of my renters them about tonight. Them not used to me coming on these hours, but I've been out and I've just come in. I'ma still feel festive. So I'ma come chat to my graduates a little bit. I've hardly been on social media, but I've just about caught up now. I've been on and off. But sometimes real life is more important than internet life, right? So we can't get too caught up in social media. We have to go out and enjoy ourselves a little bit and take ourselves off of social media and just get our head together, right? Big up yourself, Kathleen. Yes, I see you. Hey, Carrie, what's up? Hi, Michelle. Big up yourself. Big up yourself. So yeah, me I listen everything. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Me just a shake my head. Me just a shake my head. Because something, truth be told, graduates, I remember when I was there. Hi, Carisha, big up yourself. I remember when I was there. I remember when I was in that place, me feel like say me just a grow a little bit and you see me start get a little bit more followers and and it just felt as though all eyes were on me kind of thing. And some of the eyes that were on me were not all pleasant. Some definitely never want me there about, some still know want me there about. But I think that majority now have realized that I'm harmless. So I kind of understand the dynamics of how social media work to an extent now. Yes, my love, Kathleen. If it turn up, hi Rochelle, what's up? Hey Janet. Yeah, it definitely turn up. But what Leggy, why you do it? Why you do it? Leggy, why you do it? You take me in the area, carry on. Oh my God. Let me just have a little sip before I say what I have to say. You know what I say? Hey, no. Mm-mm. You know what I'm gonna say, people? Social media is such a fluid place. 1 minute you and somebody will cuss and go at each other. Next minute, una laugh with each other. Next minute, una fight on the same side. Next minute, una fight against each other because una have differing, views, etc. So you can't really take it too seriously. But if it's one thing like it's good for, is fit drought people. Him definitely know to do it. Him do it to me already, so I understand. Him know how to drown people. Teresa, what's up? What's up? Hi, Arlene. How are you doing? Titanium 25, big up yourself. I see you. Yeah, man. Him know how to drown people, man. Right? I kind of have speciality that. But what I'm gonna say, what I'm gonna say is this. Sometimes you must learn to read the signs before it is too late. And I think that there are certain social media personalities that are out here that serve as a good example of what getting caught up with views and likes can do to you. It is a good thing to be viewed. It is a wonderful thing to get the crowd. But what I'm going to say is that you're going to get the crowd no matter what, in terms of if you're there on social media and you're cuss, you're going to get crowd. People are going to turn up just for hear the passa, just for hear you going at it. But it doesn't mean that because you are getting a crowd of viewers that you have got true supporters sitting on your platform. And that's something that as you become seasoned in blogging, you start to understand. You will know when you have your core supporters, when you're actually discussing a topic and you don't see no whole heap of crowd, but you see a set of people that don't move. You understand? Those are the people who are your real supporters. When you go on with yourself and dip up on the people and a cuss and a carry on and you see the numbers them jump up and gone to some ridiculous numbers, but you see your likes them staying at a steady little bit, that is telling you something. People are there for the drama. They're not there for your actual self. They're not there because they're supporting you or they're loving you. They're just enjoying the drama. Yeah? They're enjoying the drama. And as people scroll through, them will stop sometime out of shock when them hear somebody a cuss. So when you're thinking that, oh, you're out there, you beat people with views or you do whatever, not necessarily so, because how much longer can you sustain this? You're gonna have to go out of your way to pick a fight with everybody in order to keep going. And then people are gonna come and people are gonna go and they're gonna realize what you're about. You're going to end up with very little support, but a whole lot of views. Because people don't support slackness. They don't. They support good works. And it is when they see you doing something positive that they will actually super chat you or whatever. Or they're seeing that you're giving true entertainment. Namming up yourself and going on social media is entertaining for some, but it's not the beats and end all of what social media is all about. It isn't. And sometimes when I look at how I see some of my fellow bloggers go at it sometimes, yes, it's entertaining. But they will only come at you a certain way if you present some bullshit. And I'm not gonna dress up my words. When you present bullshit, them have a whole heap of reason for come at you. Whole heap of reason for come at you. And them are gonna go hard for you too because you present bullshit. Right? Remember, one of the jobs of a blogger is to identify fact from fiction. And you cannot come out here and manufacture a story and think that people are just going to stay quiet about it. Hey, Shelly, big up yourself. Hey, Teresa, big up yourself. Know your English grammar. Hola, how are you doing, sweetheart? So, when we listen to Legit today, me listen to Shanti, me listen 13, me listen to all of them. Yeah. I'm a catch up. Me skip some parts because it was, them some of them live they were well long. So I can't stay on too long. I listen to things. But since I come in from my party and my whatever, me listen. I said to myself, Jaja, what me I gonna say to 13 now? 13. So I understand what grief can do. You see, grief can make you lash out. Grief can make you're bitter and angry to a level. And when that grief is not handled properly, it can spill out in all kind of ways. And I genuinely believe with you, the nerve that was touched was the whole thing around the death of your child. Honest to goodness, I think that is it. Because you see, when that did happen and it was dealt with, how it was dealt with on the internet, we saw a different side of you. Before that, it was, 13 trying to keep out of the bangarang, hold our own, have our own little platform, no cuss nobody. Even when them a cuss her, she not look, she hold her head straight. But you see that nerve that was touched? Me know say at that make you go dark. Me know says that make you go dark. And after that now, anything else, anything goes. Yeah? The internet is asking the question. They might ask a pertinent question too. And the fact that you're being evasive about it is going to make these guys out here ride your name even more. Right? I subtly, hinted what could happen. That is always head teacher Kate's approach. I try not to go hard on certain things because I give people time to express themselves. I give people time to talk before I do my blogging on any subject that is trending. Big up yourself, bro, Shaka. And the fact that you have gone silent on what has been called out as fake information is going to be used as a weapon against you. I suspect why you do it is to throw people off. That is what me suspect. Me no know your mind, right? They are going to call it as them see it as you lying, them see it as you being deceptive, them see it as you being somebody that cannot be trusted. I don't know you well enough to even make that kind of comments, but these are people who have interacted with you. At least Ashanti is somebody who has worked with you, right? So they're more in a position, right? It is important, as I said before in the previous live, it is important to clear that up with the public. Clear it up. You can't stay silent on it unless you're deliberately giving them a reason, a bait to come after you. Come and know, say, oh, chess, I want to full up a chess play, you know. I can't bother with the game thing sometimes. You understand? I can't bother the game thing sometimes. Sometimes that's why when I see chess I play, me just stay quiet because me not play chess. I play draft. It's easier. Big up yourself, Marlene. Yeah, man. Steph B, what's up? Nicole, Trisha, big up yourself. Good night. So, them always are gonna have it for say, yeah, tell lie, yeah, liar, you can't be trusted, etc., etc. Me not understand how it come to be a case of 13 and Leggy, you know, because Leggy was one of your biggest cheerleaders. This is the part that I find a bit surprising. He was one of your biggest cheerleaders. Him always I say you have the ability to run your own platform. He saw it, I also saw it, because I said it as well multiple times. He said it multiple times that he sees in you the ability to run your own platform. You have the personality to do it. You have the ability to control your audience, which is really important as a blogger. You understand? And to hook them. Hey, Bam Bam, what's up, sis? What's up? You understand? And Angela, big up yourself. And I'm just like, how did it get to this? Because really and truly, this is somebody who was batting for you to rise up there. I don't understand how you end up thinking that this person is jealous of your rise on YouTube or whatever. But I had a feeling like that from Leggy one time too. Me feel so too. Me not gonna lie. At one point, me think say him did bad mind me too. Right? But I've moved past that because everybody has their own followers, supporters, subscribers out here and their own audience, even if they're shared, people who will always come back to your platform and listen to what you have to say. So there really is no need to be identifying yourself as exceptional when it comes to any audience because we literally share people out here. We do. You understand? And even if the people on my page that will comment may not comment over Leggy, they still listening. And even if they may not comment over by you, them still listen. If they may not comment over by Ashanti, them still listen. So it's a shared audience. And I think we manufacture this battle that does not need to exist. Your numbers will be your numbers as long as your content is consistent. Now, when your content becomes inconsistent, meaning that people can punch holes in it because you tell lie, it can lead to a depreciation of trust, even between yourself and the audience. So that even though you may end up with the views because they are cuss at the moment and them love the drama, you're going to get less support. The beauty of social media is this. sometimes your support may outweigh the monetary value of your likes. I need you to understand that. Your views may not necessarily pay you as much as your support. When people start to sign up for membership subscriptions, send you super chat, blah, 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 on a regular basis, that is when you know you have got 4 supporters. Yeah? But when you're not at that stage, but you're getting all the views because you're in a pasa with this a person or that a person, it's a different ball game, and established bloggers can see through that. So you can't really use that and cuss nobody. You were shocked when you heard it. Me not really shocked to know. Me not really shocked. Me just I try give a little reasoning to it that is not about going on anybody's side. It's about understanding human nature. You understand? It's about understanding human nature. Remember, I never keep my discussions based just looking at that person there and that person there. I always try to pull out from it a learning point, a mentality that really all of us can learn from, right? And it is about recognizing that once you come out here and you're being integrous, authentic, yourself, then people will have less of an issue with you. For example, where I'm concerned, when I came out, them look for me and them say, oh my God, she's so speaky spoken. She this and that. Me not trust speaky spoken people. But then realize that my speaky spokenness is not going anywhere. It's remaining the same. So once you're consistent, they'll realize actually I just saw she stay. I have a time when I drop the speaky spoken and I chat my patois. I'm a talk normal. I mean, I had no big word in it because I want everybody get what me I say. And then we realize that, oh, so she stays, she can dip in and dip out, right? It's about you just being yourself and being comfortable with your audience and not having to spin stories in order to capture any moments of attention on social media. Remember, these are the reasons why a lot of us bloggers go for certain social media personalities, because they spin stories, they tell lies, and they try to deceive the audience. It is one of the number one things we blog about. So then when a blogger turns around and does that, it undermines the whole point of why we're out here and makes it look as though it is just for attention. That's not a good look. You understand? That's not a good look. And really and truly, when it comes to Leggy and 13, when I get involved in them pasa, then we know when them I go stop. But I'm saying to 13 Leggy was one of your biggest supporters out here. I remember that very, very clearly and very, very well. Uno not supposed to handle each other like that, necessarily. But we know say Leggy is a man, he will come out and he will defend himself and he will cuss him off. Cuss him, cuss me too. Yeah? You understand? And me cuss him back. But then you can't hold on to that. You gotta move on. You gotta move on. You understand? He pointed out what he considered to be a fallacy in your arguments. He pointed out a fallacy. And as I have always said, I have never known him to not have facts and evidence. So beat the devil and give the devil its due. Yeah? So if it is that it's about the fact that you wanted him to stay out of it, that's a different cup of tea. But once there is a silence on his points, he has already won the conversation, or rather the debate. He has already won the debate because there's no counteraction to what it is that he presented to the public. So may I try to say, when you see social media personalities get more caught up with likes, attention, views, and not paying attention to that authentic representation of themselves that gives them true supporters, people will end up out here like Brit. When I said 13, I go do that. I'm sure she have more sense than that. But Brit is a typical example of Nama, me did their streets. That's why I'm up. Nama, say me grown. But what me doing still up? A joke. Me no say when not used to me being up and out. That's why I said to the public, say, listen, me never think my renters are got them out because them not used to me being up. Right? But I went partying, hon, and I'm still up. Okay? So like I said, right? Brit is a personality where so Brit literally was blazing up the internet. And if those of you who follow me on Facebook know that I used to post a lot of Brits on my page. It is one of the things that grew my page considerably, posting about Brits. Them used to tired to see Brit on my page. You understand? And then Brit started to become extremely disrespectful and lacked gratitude towards her audience. Brit used to get some blouse and skirt gifts. She had some gifters who used to ride hard for her, right? Hey, honeybee. She had some gifters that used to ride hard for her. Them used to send her, listen, Lion was nothing. Universe was nothing. She was getting it. And Brit was on top of the world. But when Brit started to become greedy with her acceleration on TikTok, and she wanted to always be in the ranking and she always wanted to lead, and she saw that competition where her other TikTokers were getting a little bit more views, a little bit more likes. People were going over there gifting, and she was ending up sharing gifters. It turned her into a green-eyed monster. It turned her into a green-eyed monster because she did not believe her gifters should be over at another platform giving any gifts at all, right? So what happened to Brit now? Brit started to cuss people and say, look on over there, so. And I support that person that she started to watch people's movement instead of paying attention to her own craft and her own content and maintaining that authenticity that retained her audience. Right? She get caught up with the views, she get caught up with the gifts. Then she turned around and start cuss out the people them, the very same people them what did I put money in our pockets. So what happened? All of her true supporters left. They fled. They went to other platforms, other TikTokers, and started gifting there instead. And you saw her rapid decline. Her depreciation was drastic. And no, she still a try 1 and 2 times for rise up back, but it's a struggle. Now you're seeing the same thing with Rosalie going on, right? Negos is the one that is always cussing Rosalie. I tell her, I say she have to fix up with her attitude. There are things that we have to pay attention to as examples out here of what not to do as a content creator, what not to do as a blogger. People who turn around and cuss out their true audience lose out here. Likewise, when you cuss your true support. Even if you and your supporters fall out, and supporters do not always include the people who put money in your Cash App and your Zelle, they're also the people who shout you out, who share you, who tell people to go and follow you. You cannot turn around and start to tear those people down, and you don't get a bombastic side eye from people who would normally have put a penny in your Cash App or your Zelle. Because they're going to look at it as an example. Yup, you show me Brit because me not have TikTok. That's it, right? So I'm saying to you, right? These people also include those who share you out, who big up your name, who tell people for go follow you, for support you, and so on and so forth, right? So even with me and Leggy used to tell people to go over and follow my platform, blah, 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 blah. When me and him have the pass and the falling out, I would cuss each other. After a while, I say, something, really and truly, me cannot keep cussing this guy, and me cannot keep any negative energy there, because at the end of the day, he did call me, shout me out, tell people to go follow my page and blah, blah, blah. And you can never forget gratitude. And you have to be grateful to all of that support. So none of that is worth it. It really and truly isn't. 13, you and Ashanti used to work together. And from what I'm hearing, from what I'm gathering from Ashanti, He seemed to have looked out for you a lot. So differences aside, that should count for something. It should count for something. That somebody used to make sure you have a little extra. Used to make sure, say, you could have eat a food, you could have pay a bill, you could have buy a little something, something for yourself, for your kids, all of these things. It should count for something, even if you two are no longer on the same page, right? I think that sometimes we get caught up by our bruised egos, and things that are said can be painful. And I know that Ashanti has said some painful things to you. And that's why I said to you, I know that it is from that point where on his platform, the issue with your son was handled, that really cut. But me honestly think you're cuss enough now. Me think so. Me not tell you to stop enough. Me just I tell you say, me think you're cuss enough. You understand? And that you have a lot more values that you can bring to social media, because I've heard some of your lives when they're on other topics and they have been very good. So we have to kind of sometimes take a step back and say, really and truly, the warrior, is it worth it? Because me hear some war where I fight out there would definitely sound worth it, right? But then I'm hearing this stuff amongst my colleagues, and I'm like, then that the war there, it have to carry on. And then to extend it and talk about you're gonna depend it till X time, that is just hurt pride and vengeance talking. That's what it is. Hurt pride and vengeance talking. Right? And so them people then are back down from war. Leggy naga back down. Ashanti naga back down. And I don't know if you notice that sometimes for peace of mind, you have to just let go of certain things. Yeah. Because you carry on doing it, then your content's going to become repetitive. It's going to become repetitive. Now, your English grammar says, do you think 13 had a plan? I was going somewhere with this deceit and didn't want the lid to be lifted as yet, hence her anger about her cover up blowing. I don't know what is behind it, me and a 13. So me can't really answer that. You understand? Me don't know where she was going with it. I don't know why she did it. I can kind of come up with what could be possible. I'm thinking that possibly she was throwing out a decoy because she did not want her own children to be dragged through the mud. So she presented this, or she was planting a seed for a bit more venom to come her way because she wants to rango tango with Ashanti. Maybe that was her bait. That is what I am saying. That by throwing that out, she knew that all of this would have come out. Because clearly she has shown or shared her authentic children, her real children with people before. So at some point, she probably was like, something, if me do this, then I go do that. So me go have one lead for ride them for as long as me need for ride them. So get everything out so that me can just do that. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you that out here people play chess. They will do things for the reaction. And once they get the reaction, it justifies their comeuppance. So by doing something like that, she probably knows say them are gonna come fair. And she therefore would be prepared to beat and teach. But what she did not expect was Leggy necessarily coming up from behind and throwing the argument out. You understand? That's probably what she did not expect. Because what I heard in that live where she was first addressing him was, oh, yes or no, why you had to get involved. That is what I heard. So I'm hearing, you should have kept quiet and let me do what me I do. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's why I don't take it too seriously. Honestly, people, that's why I don't take it too seriously. But I don't think sometimes as bloggers we're aware of how much we damage our brands when we do things like that. And believe me, it's not just them Tapanaris people like like, you know, YMK or whatever that has a brand. We all as bloggers have a brand. Every single one of us have an identity. Your identity is your brand. And I genuinely don't believe that anybody out here wants to be looked at as some kind of deceitful so and so. We want to be looked at as entertaining, interesting, whatever. Not looked at as people that are going to come out here, make up story and tell lie just for views. And it's now being painted that way in terms of 13. But I genuinely believe she had a strategy to it. I just do, right? And that everybody else is playing into that hand. But she did not expect leggy. So leggy is more like, as she said, it's more a distraction to what it is that she really wants. And she really wants that battle between herself and Ashanti because of that real hurt, the original hurt that people are not paying attention to. It's like people are not remembering where this started. That's why I think she had a plan. She intended to go somewhere with this. Yes, and this is like a diversion. So like I said, Leggy and 13 really not supposed to go down the road here. Mm-mm. Because Leggy was one of 13's biggest supporters. I remember that so clearly. That it just this just to me feels strange. It feel alien almost. That never cost one of that. It feel very alien. I'm a wonder if me one feel strange about it. But yeah, me know say like it will cost anybody. But I think that he has a sense of, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, certain things him just low. But this in particular just feels strange to me. That plan was thwarted. Yeah, yeah. You understand? Um, so like I said, once again, it's not good to come out here and to spin lies for the purpose of any kind of plan because it will always shine a bad light on you. It doesn't matter who you are, it will affect you. And it's only a matter of time because then it means that, well, how can we trust anything that comes out of your mouth if you are able to spin such a drastic lie? Not clear it up and keep it moving and just start talking about something else. Then everything that comes out of your mouth, it's highly likely that it's also, you know, not to be trusted. And them not gonna tell you this in a 13 on your platform, you know. Them are going like say, yeah man, everything you said, but I'm telling you that in the back of their minds, they have this here. And me I gonna tell you, say a true. That is true. Me not even have to go interview everybody. Because if it's one thing I'm very good at is analyzing human behavior and reflecting on past and learning from it. This is how humans are. They are not going to come on your platform and tell you, say, yo, we don't trust what you say. They're not gonna they enjoy the entertainment, give you the views, give the likes and but you will have depleted your authentic supporters because they are not going to be able to stand on your word. You understand? So, yeah, as I said, people, we have to learn to recognize the signs before it is too late, right? We have to learn to recognize the signs. And speaking of recognizing the signs, I don't know if you guys have heard about one of the biggest crimes that's going around on TikTok. This is a diversion now. I'm move away from the argument. I watched a series of documentaries yesterday that really did lick me for six. It was like there's something just it tear up the whole of me insides because I was like, how the hell could this happen? There's a major case that's happening in Ethiopia at the moment where a lady, and this actual case, it took place 1 year ago, but it's only just coming to the surface now because the convicted person is trying to appeal their sentence to get a lower sentence time. Anyway, this lady, this mother, she's a single mother, and she live in a what we Jamaicans call a tenement yard. And in the tenement yard, there is herself, her cousin, and her cousin's husband, another lady, and all of their children. Because everybody got kids. She have the one daughter. This daughter was 7 years old, right? Now, this mother, being a single mother, would have to go off to work and leave her child at home. Now, obviously, we are thinking, some of us who are thinking in first world mentality are going to be like, you can't leave a 7-year-old alone. But remember, this is a tenement yard setup. And one of the people, one of the women on the compound is actually her cousin, her relative, whom she trusted to look after that child. So, she leave the 7-year-old daughter, pretty little girl, gonna work. And then now the cousin had to leave the house because she had an appointment. She had to leave for a while. And she said to the husband, give an eye on all the kids. I'm just stepping out for my appointment. I'll be back. This was what the man was waiting for. The man, when the woman leave, was alone in the compound with his kids and the little girl. He managed to isolate the little girl from everybody else. When him isolate the little girl, graduates, I can't even go into how gruesome the situation was, but the man raped the little girl, raped the little girl repeatedly. And to stop the little girl from actually screaming, you know what the man do? The man stuff up the little girl mouth with cement. Cement him put in the little girl mouth. And when he did that, the way the man was vicious with the little child's body, the little child's spine was coming, our bone did a come out our back, visible out our skin. Then him try cover it up. Him try throw bleach pan or all them something there for try cover it up, to wash off the blood and all of them something there. Then him try make it look like the child fall and actually got his 15-year-old child to help him to dress up the body, put the dress back on the body and put the body on the doorstep of the mother. I tell the mother, say, the child fell. Big case, When the mother returned, them rushed the child to the hospital because she thinks that maybe them can revive the child. The child was obviously dead on arrival. In this case, there was no sign because the man appeared to be like a family-oriented man. He was the husband of our cousin. She never expected that this man would have done something so gruesome. He got 25 years and is now appealing in the court of law for 10 to 15 years. The name of the child is Heaven. And you can go look it up on TikTok. So when you don't see any signs and some tragedy take place, you can kind of say, oh my God, unexpected. And I'm sorry, that was a that was a way off story, but may I bring it back around to where we are talking about now. That was a case of no signs leading to tragedy. But in the case of these bloggers now, in the case of 13 and Ashanti in particular, there was always signs. There was always signs. 13 was always an independent-minded, strong thinker. Somebody who would not hesitate to oppose things with Ashanti on his own life. Say Ashanti have improved. Most of them, anything the boss say, I saw them follow. But 13 was never that. 13 was always the kind of person that stand up and say, no, I not agree, or whatever, and whatever. And I said to myself, when I used to listen to her on that program, I used to say to myself, eventually this is gonna be a problem. Yeah. This is gonna be a problem. There's no way this is going to last. And I used to, when I used to blog about certain things, I used to drop my little hints. I used to say, listen, mark the signs on the wall. Don't wait for it to go downhill. I can see it about to happen. And more than one time I blog on it. But you know my style, I don't call names. I tend to just drop the hint and who it's supposed to pick up, then we pick it up. So I never call no name. But it's you I was talking about, you too. And I said, no need to pay attention because I can see the tensions building. It's important that we read the signs before it becomes too late. Yes? It's important to read the signs before it becomes too late and relationships become broken beyond repair. So right here and now, where 13 and Leggy is concerned, there really is no real beef other than the fact that all Leggy has done is pointed out a fallacy, which is also meaning a lie, in what you have said and presented. And he has shown evidence to confirm that it's not true. So you cannot be angry with facts. And as he rightfully said, he's not the only person who presented evidence and spoke about the fact that it's not true. Yes? I've simply sat back and observed everybody presenting evidence and pointing it out. And I'm saying it needs to be tidied up. You understand? It is better to have supporters. Clickbait, spinning stories, embellishing facts, none of that is authentic content creation. It isn't. All of that is deceitful. And every time you deceive, you lose. So don't watch the views, watch the support. Every time you do that, you lose. And there's no other way to put it. Yeah? Now we can all come out here and cuss and trace and carry on, you know. Everybody have them style of cussing and tracing. Yes? And ramp up the views and go on with yourself. But sometimes you have to steady and take it easy before you ramp it up again. Because otherwise it's just going to look like, okay, this is all this person has to offer. Yeah? It's not dynamic. And eventually your algorithms will start to drop. It will. You'll become less recommended on YouTube. There'll be more thumbs down in your studio. More people will click on your channel and say, I do not recommend. And these are the things that affect your visibility on YouTube. It just happens like that. It happens. And that's why you can't really rely on social media as 100% own income, you know, like the only income that you have. Big up yourself, Lady V, I see you. Yeah, man, Stacy, my ping ping. Oh God, boy, ping ping, me not like how them have you in a jail in a ping ping. Me miss your life, them. Honestly. And I certainly miss your singing voice more than anything else. I miss your singing voice, right? It's important that we do not come out here and tear up each other just for views. And when I hear the arguments that are being presented, not by Leggy, but by 13, that you are under the impression that is your views that beat them, is your, you know, your presence on social media and blah, 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 hurt up people. No, it isn't that. That is what we call a red herring argument, when you throw something else out there in order to divert from the fact. That's what a red herring argument is. It's because of this, when you know that that's not the reason why you're getting what you're getting. You're getting what you're getting because you came up with a story. It wasn't true according to these bloggers. They have found evidence to prove that it's not true. And no, you are not addressing it. You are ignoring what they presented and you're going the other way. So they are going to call you out on what they consider to be bullshit. Okay, all right, ping ping, cool. I look forward to that. They're going to call you out to it. And like I said, one of our biggest jobs out here is to tear down any information that is not fact. That is one of our biggest jobs out here as a blogger. So none of us are above that. If I come with a story and somebody wants to challenge it, I cannot stop that. Yeah? And if I get heated up by it, then it looks as though I'm defensive because them I hit some core points. I should be able to come out and say, okay, I heard that counteraction. Now let me prove to you that this is true. If it is worth my time, that is. Yeah. We can engage in debates without going under frak. And I'm using that metaphorically. I'm not suggesting that either of you did that. But it does sadden me because I like to see when bloggers are supportive of each other. I like to see when we are rallying for each other's growth. I don't enjoy watching what is happening between Ashanti and 13. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy watching what is happening between Leggy and 13 because I don't cut from that cloth. I know a lot of people enjoy it. Una love it. And the more them ride at each other is the more some of una love it and una enjoy it. That is what una consider to be entertainment. I know there are definitely some miscreants out here on social media, some people who go out of their way to be disrespectful, to cause problems, to lie, to defame, and to slander others who are more than worthy opponents. But I don't see these bloggers as worthy opponents. I think they're evidence of relationships that have gone sour because the signs were not read before it was too late. Big up yourself, Andreen. Fully myself, big up yourself. So while everybody is enjoying all the entertainment, at the end of each of these what you would call electronic devices is a real person. Right? It's a real person with real feelings. But I know for a fact that if it's one person going to enjoy you getting worked up, is Leggy. Him a go laugh because this is his specialty. This is what he does. And if you're not used to it by now, it's like you were not present on social media for how many years? This is what he enjoys. Yes? So if you're gonna let him pull you out for you to put on that girl frack for him, then you are allowing yourself to be distracted from whatever it is your purpose is. Yes? Uh-huh. And like I said, I know that the whole reason behind how this all started was your deep hurt. Yes, and how that loss was handled on social media. Yeah. And like I said, grief can make us do some things out here. Yeah. Grief can make us do some things out here. Yeah. Because even when I was going through my loss, and I'm still going through it, by the way, and the things that happened to me. Don't think I've let go of certain things. I have not let go of it. And don't think I'm still not investigating which Plancatarians it was that had the audacity to go on my dead relatives page and pull out my pictures. Don't think I've stopped. I work behind the scenes and I do what I have to do. And I have my eyes on two that it could definitely be. And grief does that. Grief makes you not let go of hurt. Grief makes you lash out. It makes you vengeful. It makes you very, very, what is the word? Not strategic, tactical. Tactical. Hmm? Ingrid, sometimes if you don't know what is happening, it probably means that this one was supposed to miss you. You understand? Don't try to hurt up your head trying to figure it out. Those of us who are in the class know the subjects. So that's why everybody else is in the know. Sometimes when something passes you, you no go to one way to find out. So just move on with life, innit? I just social media, right? And a real life this for you. It's somebody else's affairs. We bloggers just discuss what's going on. Yeah? So, like I said, grief makes you do things. It makes you lash out. It makes you vengeful. It makes you mean spirited, especially when you have been hurt while going through it. It does make you do these things. So, a lot of us are staying quiet on the subject, but we well and understand why 13 lashed out the way she lashed out and why she is carrying on the way she's carrying on, right? But I'm here to say that some people out here in social media don't give one damn about your grief. And they will come for you no matter what time you are going through in this life. It is for you to decide whether or not you're going to wrestle with these demons or walk away from it. And I always say that it's really important to know that sometimes when you don't fight, you haven't lost. Sometimes when you lay low, you're not a coward. And sometimes when you choose not to confront, you're not weak. We are of the mentality that if we confront, we're brave. If we cuss and trace, we are bad people. Yes, if we run up in a somebody, we not have enough fear. And I'm here to tell you that it's actually the weak who don't know when to strike. Exactly, Joan. It's actually the weak who doesn't know when to strike. And also the weak who doesn't know when to stop. I stopped watching 13 because the bully behavior was a bit much. So I know she and 369 had beef, but the plot has missed me along the way. Yeah. So like I said, always remember when somebody has given you some support, when somebody has been there for you for a moment, even if it was 5 minutes of your life when you were down and that person picked you up. For that purpose, sometimes it really isn't worth going at it for a sustain. Coming out saying you can't fall out with somebody, and cost the same person, but me I say it no work dragging out and dragging on, etc., etc. Because that person is going to look at you as being ungrateful. They are going to paint you as that. And while somebody does kindness, not and should not be expecting, because when you do something for somebody, you're not supposed to expect any worshiping and, oh my God, I owe you my life. No, because when you do something for somebody, you're supposed to do it from the bottom of your heart. You're supposed to do it genuinely and so on. You're not supposed to look for nothing after you do that. But it's still going to pain you when you do something for somebody and then turn around and start anger you certain ways. right? It's still going to. Now, when it comes to competing for views and likes out here amongst bloggers, I'm not going to say that isn't a real competition. It really is a competition amongst certain types of bloggers who are seeking to, you know, more or less live off of social media. Okay. And when you have a shared audience and then there is a live going on when you want to go live and the numbers start dip and re. If you depend on social media for your bread and you're not only feeding yourself, no, let's build up a bigger story. You're not only a feed yourself, you feed your kids, you feed somebody else, kids, you feed one old person over there, so and so on, and all of it is dependent on the money that you make on social media. And then there is this competition. It's going to bring added stress because you're losing income from an audience that you share. You hear what I'm saying? So for people who are very dependent on that income, it can prove to be a problem. It can cause, it can cause financial duress. You can easily, as an audience, pick up which bloggers out here are doing it as a hobby, a side fun, and is not thirsty for the finances. You can tell which bloggers those are. You can tell. The audience knows. Watch out, the commercial did lag. Me no know. You couldn't skip it, Rowena. You could have skip it if you didn't want to skip it. But anyway, I appreciate you watching the ads. So, yeah, you can tell those people. And those people will respect, those people will not want to respect that other people out here have the same needs because una share the same audience. So when them see that no, and then say yeah, come out same time as them and it become a battle. You can see where some particular bloggers will compete and come on at the same time as you in order to usurp your audience. That is also a strategy because they know that the audience is shared and they may think that they're coming with a buzzier content than you and all them something. So I'm not gonna lie, competition there, but you have to have the mindset to handle it and you can't let it phase you. And I genuinely believe that the audience will go where the interest is. So it not really it not really matter because when I was looking at both Leggy's live and 13 live that was running concurrently, I was swiping up, swiping down, swiping up, swiping down. Yes. I was looking at the numbers as like they literally have the same numbers as audience. Literally have the same numbers as audience, right? And then when 13 came off the live and Leggy carried on being live, Leggy's live jumped up from 300 odd to 400 odd. So that means what? What does it tell you? 100 odd, essentially half of 13's audience jumped over to Leggy. So the true supporters are 100 odd. The people who are there for the drama are the extra. Facts. So we cannot get caught up with views over true support. We cannot. Don't make this an argument about that because it ain't about that. It isn't about that. Everybody out here have their people that enjoys watching them, but a lot of it is shared audience and a sort of thing set. Be authentic out here in these social media streets. Be real or don't be at all. Simple as that. And if you're called out on something, if you can't correct it, just expect that the audience is going to think that it wasn't true. And therefore, there's going to be an element of mistrust around your brand. And that is that. Anyway, people, I'm going to come for stay long. Yes? I come for a short time, not a long time. I hope you understood the reasoning. Yes. And that it was not done to offend a soul. So I don't want nobody come for me. Oh. Many times my silence is mistaken as fair. I will never defend lies, nor will I justify or try to prove anything out here. Less is more, silence is power. I anger people by ignoring them. Lady V, me not think anybody out here think you're afraid. Anybody who thinks that are new. So don't worry about that. They are very certain that there is no fear there, okay? But you are right. Less is more. Sometimes silence is powerful. All right, people, big up on the night screen stuff. Do like up the live on your way out. Good night, good night, good night. This is your girl, Head Teacher K, and I'm out.